Okay. Mandatory. Are all clocked down paper clip.
That's one?
Yeah, okay. And then clicks 2 and 3 will be credits. Good. And your turn.
One on HQ.
Sure.
Here comes the run. Oh, actually, wait a second. Hold up.
Yeah.
How many cards you got in your hand?
I currently have 5.
Now I'm good.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Click 2, indexing.
Kapu.
Sounds good. That's the run. Click 3, I will draw. And 4 I'll play. I won't. Click 4 I'll play a lib. Go ahead.
Mandatory. I'll take 3 credits. So I have to toss a card.
Yeah.
So I'm going to toss mystery card. Go ahead.
That's good. So I just did this poorly. This should only have 2 on it.
Right.
I
Yep.
should have put it there.
That's okay. Yep.
Turn begins.
Yep.
You get 2. Okay. Click 1, draw. Click 2, draw. Click 3, daily casts.
Okay.
Click 4, I'll take money off liberated, so that's +1.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Click 1, install.
Yeah.
And then gain 2.
So you're at 7.
Yep. And it's your turn.
Okay. Gaining 4.
Cool.
Click 1, draw. Click 2, draw. Click 3, I'll play this ice card.
Yep.
It's questionable. And then last click, I'll play a strike.
Cool.
Go ahead. Draw.
Mandatory. Click 1 is draw. Click 2 is draw. Click 3 is hedge fund.
Yeah.
I owe you some cards. Like this one and this one.
Did you go?
And it is you to you.
Click 1, draw. Thinking.
Oh, we got a good one.
Click 2.
Nice.
Click 3.
Nice.
I don't want to use it this turn. I'll take,
Okay.
I'll take money. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3.
Start our turn. I'm actually gonna move this over here.
Yeah.
Mandatory draw. Click 1 install.
Yeah.
Click 2 shipment from tenant.
Yeah.
And then third click I'll advance.
Yeah.
Scoring melodic.
Sure.
It's to you.
Click 1, 0.
Okay.
I will have to make some changes somehow.
Here. Is that good?
Yes. Thank you.
This one.
Yes. Thank you.
So I take it.
Yeah. What's the order?
So you take the net. So I make you lose the top card, and then you draw the rest.
Okay. I'm losing the top card.
Cool.
I'm drawing the rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, seems good.
It's tight.
Good value.
It's tight. It's tight.
Let's click 1. Click 2. 2 wheel. Quick 3-4, all face plant this guy.
Sure.
Not dice.
Awesome.
And I will throw out 0 construct over.
Swap it again.
Sure.
Mandatory draw.
Yeah.
Archive, Arc Lockdown.
Yep.
I'll name Black Orchestra.
Yep.
And then I will, for my last play Preemptive.
Yep.
I'm going to toss 2 face downs and 3 face downs. Sure. And it's to you.
Okay. $2. This is gone.
So that was 1, 2, 3 archives. Actually,
Quick 1 draw.
out of the ashes. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Quick 2 draw. It's 1, 2, and then 3 is going to be.
Is it not 2 draws and then a...
So yeah,
okay.
3. Yeah, sorry, you're right.
It's okay,
I
that's
think
okay.
I misspoke. And then 4 will be another liberated go.
Sure. Click 1 as a draw.
Yeah.
Clicks 2 and 3 will be just credits.
Okay.
And it's to you.
Quick 1, 0.
Okay.
4.
Awesome.
Well, I'll do that actually. That's the proper order of things.
So this one.
Hey, what's the chance I just hit this button and we have audio? How's it going? Welcome to the Metroball Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let me know how the audio levels are going. I actually can't hear anything. I can't hear their table. I can barely hear myself. I think we're actually probably a bit too hot. How's everyone doing? Audio sounds great. Hell yeah. How's it going, Twitch? How's it going, YouTube? Welcome. This is the Montreal Regionals 2018, the final regionals.
For the event.
And we just set up a desktop. We showed up here at 9:45 in the morning, and I found out that I forgot my tripod. Luckily, Marc-Andre was kind enough to drive back, so we set up a bit late. We can hear you with the table in the background. Cool, you can hear both? That's good. How's it going, everyone? Welcome. I'm going to try and catch up and do commentary soon. Otherwise, we're just going to kind of shoot the shit until we get comfortable with things.
Let me think.
A lot of names I don't recognize. Ravner, how's it going? ETG, welcome. Mike also, how you doing? Cody, why aren't you playing? Because we're going to do commentary all day. We're going to do commentary. This is Valencia versus PU. Big thing you want to do is not install too many cards. I think the best card in this matchup is your Clan Vengeance is very good to disrupt the damage. You know there's damage going to be happening. Employee Strike is really good. It minimizes the damage, and it's all about that turning wheel. That turning wheel will win you the game. Sungho's going to lose the wheel. Sungho could lose the wheel. A lot of these decks are running copies of Voter Intimidation to trash resources because they generally lose to wheel. I think that's largely where we have to be trashed. Stream looks excellent. Hey, Brandon, thank you. Thanks for dropping by. We got a long stream today. We're going to be here for 8 to 9 hours. We're actually parked out by a window, too, so you see while the sun is rising, that playmat's going to get hotter and hotter. That beautiful Lotus Field that Alex Bradley won came first in what's it called? Icebreakers 2 years ago? What are the most popular decks today? I don't actually know yet. I'll find out relatively soon. I just sat up, got the stream up, so I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen any of the deck lists, but we'll definitely get hold of that. Let me know also how my audio is doing in comparison to the table, and we'll get to some good quality commentary hopefully pretty soon. I hope there's a prize for Best in Custom Proxy. How's it going, Maui? Welcome. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of Mati today. That's generally pretty good, a lot of Valencia. And these two players are also not from Montreal, mind you. Alex came in from Ottawa, and Sunko, who organized the Toronto Regional last weekend, is here to play. Glad to see everyone come in. Perfect. You can hear the table clearly when I'm not talking. That's ideal. Lets us make it more like golf commentary where we can be quiet. We can listen to the table. Where's the mat on the right from? Steven, how's it going? That is only, I think there's only 1 or 2 of those mats in the world. It's actually from the Icebreaker tournament at FFG at Worlds. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. Alex came in first. That's a tournament they do before Worlds starts to get everyone comfortable. And he came in first. He was playing like a gang sign Valencia blackmail thing. It's pretty gross. Players of the tourney, I think we're 28, 24. I need a confirmation. Yeah, Alex has problems. I think he has all these good playmats, a very competitive player, but that's the one that he always uses, so all the other ones, like, I don't know what he does with them. Single axis here on HQ. This is definitely running a rebirth into Omar. It's actually more than a single axis. It looks like it's a double. Oh, this is a trash. Excuse me, from Clan Vengeance. I gotta pay attention. Well, let's get some commentary in here. Let's do it. Let's talk about the game. ACN, why aren't you playing? Because I wanted to do commentary. I want to be here all day to talk through the games. And this is the only way I can do it. Yeah, that was a Vengeance, exactly.
I'm going to move that back up there.
I played last weekend at Toronto Regionals, and this is our last official FFG Regional, so I thought we try and do a stream production. Also, huge shout out to both Dodgepong and VTTV Live. These are Dodgepong's score. VTTV Live helped out, but all these elements that you're seeing, these are all online. Thank you, Ben Terrell. We got some cool card inserts to do as well.
Access? Yes. It is a snare. Okay, sounds good.
Ooh, that's a snare.
4 for that.
Jammed down the remote. It looks like it was ran, and 3 more damages coming out. Uh-oh. Looks like the cards I downloaded from the core set are all numbered poorly, and I search snare and a flare comes up, so we're not going to look what that is. Praise Ben, right? Supersized credit tokens, those are big credits. Those are poker chips. A lot of players around here like those poker chips, and I can see why. They're very tactile, very easy to pick up and throw around. Good old PU, how's it going, Sean? Welcome. PU's pretty good right now. People don't know how to play around it. I think a lot of times the best turn is gain 4 credits. It does make that 0 a lot worse, but you know what? It's actually very interesting. Alex is still playing that 0. I don't know if you want to do that. You probably only hit that. I don't even think you hit that. You don't want to be drawing in this matchup. But this PU is definitely going to grind them out. Getting that 1-3-2 scored is a big deal. As much as it does do damage, now I think the deck is only Future Perfects and Philotic. There might be another point in there. The 50 cards from Val is definitely going to help. And it looks like he is actually taking the damage with 0. That seems crazy. Without even a Clan Vengeance on the table. That's a lot of damage. And losing the Employee Strike. That was 4 cards for 1 action. That does not seem sustainable. Maybe Alex is digging real deep for that indexing he wants to close the game off. Mirage, you could easily be on R&D. You're going to need an issue to that. But sometimes you can index and then just rebirth into Omar and go around. But those Kakagos, that's way too much damage. No D-res package here. No ice destruction. It's going to be an issue. And you can't take 4 damage with that 0 hit. I'm super surprised that Alex is on the 0. PU also seems like a really good choice, as much as Clan Vengeance is super popular. If you know people are on 0, you can turn down the draw engine. Again, I don't think this is a matchup where draw matters that much. So sometimes you can just go slow, draw 2, gain 2 credits. That could be your turn. I'm not playing today, Sean. That's correct. We're going to be here on table all day. I don't know whether we're going to be on chat all the time. I got the chats open from YouTube and Twitch, obviously, but at some point we might just actually talk to chat between the rounds, and then chat can talk to chat. I don't know. It looks like there's a shipment from Tunning coming out. Not a successful run. That's generally a House of Knives coming out. That's going to get the House of Knives. And the House of Knives represents 6 damage. It's incredible 6 damage if you don't run. Putting on 3 points. I got to figure out how to do all these overlays at once. Oh, it's working out. You got to run every turn, and that's a really hard thing to do when there's Kakagos on servers. And the ice is actually really well statted against Valencia. So nice to hear your Saunders voice. Thank you, Sean. Hopefully you're having a good weekend, huh?
This one, please.
So every time you run now, that's 2 damage off the top. 1 from hand, 1 at the top of the stack. Yeah, House of Knives Grim, yeah, that's really gross. And now, like, if you want to steal Nobakata, that's 4 damage, 1 off deck. You got to run through double Kakago. It looks like, I don't know, I haven't been paying enough attention. There's a chance that you lose the rebirth on the top of the deck, but that rebirth is super important. It's the only way to basically make accesses on R&D from anymore, because you can't take that double. It's actually 4 damage generally from the Kakago. You just don't have any cards. How many cards left in Alex stack? I can't tell. It looks like about a dozen. Checking archives. Sometimes you just want to make a successful run, but sometimes the breach domes are there in archive. So no matter what, it's going to be a bad day for you. I don't think it's more than 20.
And 4, I will play this turntable.
Turntable coming down? that actually might do something. Generally, these decks, Sunko is not going to be scoring an Obokata Protocol until Alex is out of cards. Do I think Envelope is worth a slot? Envelope helps stop turning wheel farming. I've seen some people run Georgia Emilioff, the Sysop, and I actually like her a lot more. She's an expensive card, but a lot of times these decks don't do much besides click for credits. I like that a lot better. Alex is definitely on strike for sure. We've seen it. I think there's 2 in the bin, maybe 3. And strike is actually really good in this matchup because this matchup is all about the amount of cards you have left. And that is the new big addition here. Oh man, what is this thing called? Drudge work? Drudge? Oh, what's this card called? Oh, I don't know how to look this one up. Drudge work. Found it. We're going to pull this up. This is the big new addition. Oh no, my cards aren't working. Oh, we got it, we got it, we got it. This is a new card that just came out in Rain Reverie, and this is a huge card. I see this doing a lot of work for a lot of these prison type decks. It lets you gain credits, it lets you bury the agendas, and as soon as Sunko top decks an Obokata, the best place he can possibly put it is back in his deck where it's protected by double Kakugo. Because that means he has to overdraw, then run into the Kakugo, take 4 damage, another 5 damage from stealing the Obokata, and now he's going to get 3 credits. This also means that Alex has to run. You have to trash that Drudge work, which means it's really good to put that behind Big Ice, put it behind Kakugos, ensure that damage. Absolutely disgusting card right now, that Drudge work. You're gonna see. I think you're gonna see Gagarin today too. I don't know how great it is in the meta right now, but it's very strong. It also lets you, if they have to run, that's where the House of Knives is gonna come in. I think it's also only 2 influence. Some of these decks used to play Museum back in the day. Also, they used to play that other one, that mining one. That's it, Wampoa, Reclamation, and I think Drudge Work seems a bit better. It doesn't put on the bottom of the deck, though, which is a much bigger deal. I really do not like that part of Wampoa. Bottom of the deck is the hardest place you could ever possibly put a thing. There's not a lot of shuffle effects on the runner side that see a lot of play. Used expressing as fuck? I don't know about that. Yeah, both of those cost a click. Drudge Work cost a click. You only have 3 shots on it, but you really need to get that done. It looks like we're having an inject here. 4 cards on the top, and Ivan wears some more draw cards. That is, again, more hit points. And if Alex doesn't run this turn, he's going to lose them. So he definitely wants to run to use those cards, because discarding cards at the end of your turn is, again, one of the worst things you could be doing against PU. Alaniel, how's it going? Wish I could stay and watch. Got to go. Enjoy your weekend. The VOD will be around. And there is a Future Perfect in hand, actually. Sunko does have one. Maybe he wanted to double Drudge Work that turn. But I think it's 3 Obokata, 1 Future Perfect. That puts him at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think there's 2 Future Perfects, 3 Obokatas if I was guessing. 1 Philotic and 3 House of Knives. So still a fair bit of agendas in the deck. Alex is on strike for sure. And Alex has installed a lot of cards. I really don't understand that 0 going down, but the other cards are pretty good. I think the Ice Carver actually does matter against some of the bigger ice. Maybe Yankee doesn't. I hope as he pulls out a clutch Divide and Conquer and spends every counter turning wheel. Yes! That's another option he has, is the Divide and Conquer is another good way to run R&D. Because currently running R&D the normal way is pretty bad. So that's the big issue. If Divide and Conquer is his last card or Rebirth is his last card, he's going to have a hard time. He's going to have a really hard time getting to that. And it looks like double Kakugo. 2 cards off the top. That's another Clan Vengeance. You always want that. And I think he's going to use his Turning Wheel tokens this turn, considering he has so many cards in hand. I guess he felt like the CV plan was a bet, but he hit important stuff earlier. The CV plan is still important for sure. Oh, that's some money. That's okay. But I still think with Kakugo on the table, like, it's not hard to take damage. Like, I don't think you want the 0. Steven, how's it going? Needs 8 cards plus DNC to steal Obos. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult if he needs to steal a double Obokata. Stimac, not a card you play. All right. Looks like he can use a Turning Wheel here. That's a 4-card access. We're going to dig deep. Hopefully that comes out for Alex, because he really needs it right now. 0 points. And that's a Obokata. If he steals that, I think there's a chance he dies to Snare. If I'm not mistaken, Sunko has 4 credits exactly. So if he steals, he could die. And he only has 2 cards left in his deck. So if he does this, he has 1 card left, which means he can't steal another Obokata. So I don't think it's possible to win this game without stealing Obokatas, unless he hits all the Future Perfects, wins all the side games. He drew way too much. I really don't think Alex is favored anymore in this matchup. You can't be going through your cards that quickly. But he's thinking about it. We can pause a bit, hear what the table says. Alex usually thinks out loud.
We can call it. Yeah, we can call it. Yeah. So I'm just going to put this here as the card being accessed.
Very bad spot he is. I think we have a judge calling. Let's listen to the table, see what that's about.
You can talk outside the table if you want.
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean... Okay.
What's up?
So if I steal...
You know what? I'm actually going to run over the table to listen, because I can't hear. I'll be right back.
I have iPad Worse in my hand, which draws me 3 cards. Does this trigger before his ID triggers. Yeah. Otaku Protocol.
He's trying to steal my avocados.
Yeah. Okay. Against I've had worse. With PU. Does PU get one of these cards, or do I get to like chain draw it with I've had worse?
I think it does actually. Because how it works, you steal that.
Then like that interrupts. I don't know.
Never works at least one damage. Yeah. So yes. So this, that, this, draw that.
Okay.
Okay, because during the turns when we've had this in play, he's been taking damage, but my ability would go first before he draws the 2, because that would have changed the entire.
You're dealing him damage before he drew the cards.
Yes, we were doing the top card
Suffer
first.
1 net damage whenever he suffers. Oh, it's whenever.
Yeah.
It's not after he suffered damage.
All right, so
Yeah.
low key, I'm somewhat judging here. The idea is if he steals his damage,
I
we see I've had worse fire before he draws from top of PU. Does anyone have a ruling on this? And we're not gonna be ruling off of Twitch chat or YouTube
So
chat.
are we
but
going with
I want to look this up.
That'll hit
first and
yes.
then okay.
Correct.
So then, sorry. I'm just gonna. Yeah, this is my hand. So.
I am still thinking.
Yep.
There you go, boys.
Thank you, sir.
I know for similar things, so it's like installing off of the off of the Street Feather with Geist, you can choose the order, but it seems different.
I'll put it back down.
Looks like Reddit thinks they're simultaneously, so it's your choice. Okay, I don't know how he ruled that, but it looks like he should be able to draw. I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna check with the judge what happened.
I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. I will continue accessing the next. Okay. Josh that. What's that?
Thank you.
I got you. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. Future Perfect.
Okay.
Let us
I'll just reveal
play
it.
the game.
Okay. So I'll put it back there like this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make change for this.
Yeah. So you have 4 credits.
All right, welcome back. Looks like we decided that we'll fire in the optimal order for Alex, but it looks like he's choosing not to steal it. We have a side game on a Future Perfect. That's a huge deal, because this is the only way he can win. He can't steal 2 Future Perfects. I don't think there's just enough agendas in the deck. 0-0, he gets it. That's 3 points. That's a huge deal.
You know what? No. But
Now he can steal the Obokata on another 1 point and has a chance of winning.
Get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
And he knows it's on top. It's really hard to run that again.
Okay.
Oh, he spent 0.
An exciting quick 3.
I bet worse if PU and Obokata stolen is the question, yeah.
I am still thinking.
That's crazy. So there's another Future Perfect in hand. Obviously he doesn't know it. And that Neural in hand also is a really big deal, because that's going to do 2 damage. And once he has less than 3 cards, you know, those Obokatas are entirely safe. So the game comes down to entirely Future Perfects. Luckily, the double Kakugo is on R&D. So the last Kakugo, where that is incredibly important. If he gets on HQ, he can no longer run HQ. Well, he can't run it more than 4 times, right? Unless he gets that Omar Rebirth, which, again, we might have milled the Rebirth earlier. We didn't see it. Alex does have a really narrow window of coming back here, but again, cards.
I'm guessing it's 0.
A lot of cards. So we can see the archives. So 1 archive memories, 1 arc lockdown. I don't think the arc lockdown is going to do anything here. Most of the breakers are out. I guess it comes down to the MK Ultra, but we haven't seen the Sentry so far. And actually something has been removed from the game. I'm not sure what. I think we missed it. I think you see in the bottom left. I think it is actually a Black Orchestra and a paperclip. Timberrig 1 to HQ. You can move it there. Thimblerig HQ into R&D. That's a really good line of play. That's a very flexible card here, that Thimblerig. And you can use it to get the Kakugos 1 on HQ, 1 on R&D, making the central runs really bad. I think you also want 1 on Archives if the Rebirth or the Divide and Conquer comes out. Because he also saw what cards that Sunko's going to be drawing, so he knows if there's any shuffle effects. So he knows if the Obokata is going to be staying in hand. There's also a chance dumping Obokata into Archives is really good. You choose the order of accessing when you get cards in there, but with Breach Domes, it can be really scary. 50 card deck. He's gone through a lot of this. I think he has 5 cards in hand.
So then I will.
And going for another run here. That's another Neural. token. That's 2 more cards. He knows one of them is the I've had worse. Just the casts and off the deck. Please no rebirth. It's a strike. Ooh. Not going to do that much card actually with only 2 cards left in the stack, but you know, you wanted that earlier, and it looks like we just want to bounce and end the run there. And that's kind of the value of envelope. He was meant to do that before. Oh, he did not look at the card. He mandatory draw. Perfect. Neural for value. So that's 2 more cards. I think that puts Alex exactly on 4. Oh, he's now on 3 cards. So Obokata's entirely safe. And he loses the last card in his stack. And it was the rebirth last card. Absolutely brutal.
And I'll just take 2.
That card does work. That card lets him rebirth into Omar so he can get into R&D without dealing with double Kakugo, but last card in the stack, not what you want to see at all. Absolutely brutal. And now he can, without any House of Knives tokens, he can just bounce off of that Kakugo over and over again. Just deja vu for it. Now there is a narrow window here. There were 3 cards in hand. It means he can run through the double Kakugo, and access a lot of cards. And like he has to basically hit the last feature perfect and not hit a snare. If he hits a snare, he loses his very narrow window here.
Is it now? Is now the time?
Very narrow window. Kamino also would do a fair bit of work. I think he can break it. I think he has access to it. But if that flushes the hand, it's basically GG. You can Hail Mary here for sure. You die to a lot of things. You die to double breached. You die to single snare. And I don't even think you win. You basically need to find that last feature perfect, and I don't think he knows it's an HQ. But he knows the next 3 or 4 cards on R&D. I think actually maybe 2 cards on R&D, so he's in no rush right now. He could also check through all of HQ if he wants to build up that turning wheel, but that also has a chance of being lethal. I think we know there's 1 snare in archives.
Face plant into it 4 times again.
Okay. Mandatory.
Looks like it's a big turning wheels to play. You can just slam. That's one of the problems. One of the better... It's probably one of the only better reasons why you would consider envelope over Kakugo, is that you can block that. But again, just any taxing piece of ice in front of HQ would do it. We saw U.S. Nationals this year. I believe it was U.S. Nationals. Maybe it was North American, but somebody was playing Georgia Emilioff in their PU deck, and I'm a big fan. Sungo is smart, changing his ice around. He could rush the Obokata, but there's really no point here. There's a chance because he knows the Obokata's in hand, right? He knows the Obokata in hand. He knows the Obokata's safe. He could jam into the remote and make it look like a future perfect.
I can't take that Obokata.
But yeah, as soon as he scores that, you're right. As soon as that 3-pointer is scored, he has to worry about turntable. So he doesn't want to score the 3-pointer until Alex is out of the game. And if Alex is not making successful runs, anytime he top stacks the House of Knives with the shipment from Tenon, that's a good game in his hand, is filling up. The run R&D saw Obokata Hokusai Grid, a blank card, and then TFP. I'm not sure, but I think he drew all 3 of those. I walked away from the table.
Okay.
That turning wheel is getting real big. Off the top, that's a crick. Card costs 6 credits to break without a David on archives, and you do have to protect archives in this matchup if you're on Tenon. Nick Gamble's coming in. Money matters. Now he does throw in bigger ice, and with 8 credits or 9 credits and a bad pub, that's something you might have to worry about. The scariest dice in this deck at this point is Kakugo. There's one more somewhere. We don't know where it is, but that's going to make a big difference. And actually drawing last click. That's another judge work. That's huge. That lets him bury the future perfect. I don't think he actually wants to do that.
I think 3 times YOLO.
Yeah, there's no way you want to do that.
1, 2, 3.
Alright.
So 1, 2, 3.
Yup.
Alex does have a chance
Okay,
here.
1 overall.
Yep.
The biggest issue with Sungo having that much money.
1.
We're going for a Hail Mary here. I've had worse. That does nothing. Second Kakugo, second I've had worse. We're accessing
I'm gonna see
all the cards.
2, 3,
I wish I had a closer camera to zoom in, but this could easily
8, 9 cards.
be game here. Again, Snare is lethal. Double Breach Dome is lethal.
Okay. Okay.
And we're seeing one, I don't know, a lot of cards. I did not get to count those glass gems. Looks like Sungo's just going to get the mitt ready, and I'm actually predicting Alex to die here. Off the top, looks like the new grid. Wanza City? Is that Wanza City? There's no way. Maybe it's a Hokusai. Hokusai also would be really good right now. It looks like it's 9 cards. Thank you, Plague.
Wanza, and I don't know if I should reveal that.
No.
Massel, how's it going, Matthew Martin? Welcome to the stream. I think that's a Wanza City grid. That's a Cortex Lock into a Hokusai, which is going to be a problem, but with 1 card in hand, everything's a problem, right? Neural, want to see that down? That's a snare. That's a good game. And that's lethal.
Can we keep going?
Alex drawing so fast through his deck. Ideally too fast. Actually, one House of Knives in there, so scoring that 3-pointer was a huge mistake. And there were 6 points of agendas in hand. That's a good game. I don't think he installed 0 in that matchup. Again, I did not see the beginning, so I didn't see if he needed it or not, whether he was getting rushed. It's a pretty slow deck. If you just click for credits a lot of times, that's good enough. But we're moving on to match 2. I actually don't know what they're playing, so we'll catch up on the elements. How's it going, also? Welcome to Metro Grid. We're out in BD Cosmos in Laval. This is the last regional. I believe Julien, who's running the event here, was saying that BD Cosmos, I think Julien can hear me, ran the first regionals in Montreal, and they're closing it out with the last one as well. Oh, that's smoke.
Yeah, I was getting a little.
We got some nice overlays today.
A little worried about how much strength, like.
I'm really excited.
Gonna be to deal with it, so
and it's Gagarin, which we called that.
Kinda easily handle
That's gonna be running also that drudge work.
To a degree.
Surveyors in here.
Yeah.
There we go. Hey, it works. These overlays, by the way, are from Ben Terrell from Dodge Punk, also VTTV Live. Helped me out. Huge shout out to those people.
Yes. It's a 40 card.
Glad that we can make this look as good as it is. These guys are going back to their old faves. Yeah, they are. I think Alex did play a bunch of Gagarin back in the day.
Mine is a 54.
So I'm assuming it's a 54 card deck. That's generally what they are. The restricted card could be Museum. I think Mumbet City Hall is no longer restricted. Down in Metro Atlanta. Ben's the nice. Yeah, Ben is the